Welcome to Love and Murder, your weekly true crime podcast discussing relationships that turn to murder. I'm your midweek mini host, AI Jane. Now, relationships don't only mean marriage. On Love and Murder, we talk about all types of relationships. In this case, it's friendship. But, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Let's get into this week's midweek mini. On April 3, 2020, Dystynee Avery and her boyfriend, Jordan Yarborough, received a call from Ethanbroad, Doreen's daughter's good friend. Dystynee Avery was staying with Ethan for a little while in Moorhead, Minnesota. 27-year-old Ethan told Doreen that the night before, him and Dystynee, 19, had had a fight and she'd left the house and never returned. Of course, Doreen called the cops and filed a missing persons report. She relayed what Ethan had told her. Police canvassed the area but couldn't find her. They then searched Ethan's apartment and garage and realized that this was no longer a missing persons case and now a murder investigation. Quote, "The investigation led to the belief that foul play was involved." End quote. Inside Ethan's garage, police found a bloody saw with human tissue embedded in the teeth. They also found a container with a large amount of blood inside as well as bloodstains that was clearly trying to be cleaned up within the apartment. Although all of this was found, Dystynee's body or remains had not been located. In surveillance videos, investigators saw Ethan dragging a blue container from his apartment to the garage. On April 17, 2020, Ethan was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Once at the police station, Ethan denied killing Dystynee. Instead, he said someone else killed her and he helped them dismember the body. But then, after he was shown the surveillance videos, he told cops he'd been lying and confessed to killing her, dismembering her in his garage and putting her remains in trash bags by himself. He then dumped the parts into different dumpsters around the apartment complex. However, he claimed that he killed her in self-defense. Although police asked Ethan to disclose the location of the body, he refused to. Doreen, Dystynee's mother, said in an interview, "Ethan will not tell anybody where she's at, which is the hardest part. And now that I know that she is gone, I want answers. I want to know where she's at." On April 21, police arrested two more people as accessories to murder, 22-year-old David Erno and 26-year-old Andrea Payne. Andrea was actually living at the apartment when Dystynee was murdered. She reported that Dystynee and Ethan were in a room alone when Ethan came and told her that Dystynee might come to her to claim that he raped her. A short while later, she said she heard loud noises coming from the room and realized they were fighting, and she decided to mind her business instead of going to see what was wrong. Then Ethan came out of the room and told her that he hit Dystynee over the head with a lead pipe and cracked her skull open. This was actually consistent with what Ethan told investigators. According to him, Dystynee tried to hit him with the pipe and he took it from her and hit her over the head in self-defense, as he claimed. Andrea said that she still didn't go and check on Dystynee and instead left the apartment. When she came back hours later, she brought David with her and noticed blood on Ethan's face. She went to make a sandwich. Because that's what you do when your roommate mentioned rape and cracking someone's skull open and seeing blood on their face. As she was making the sandwich, Ethan admitted to murdering Dystynee. She then didn't report the murder to police and gave wrong information to police when they'd initially questioned her. Ethan and Andrea told David to get Dystynee's computer, format it, wipe it clean, and then destroy it. Upon looking through David's phone, investigators saw a search for how to wipe a computer clean. On the evening of April 22, Dystynee's body was found at the Clay County landfill. Then, on that Monday, police arrested another person, 33-year-old Brandon Erbstoesser, and charged with 2 counts of second-degree aiding an offender with a murder. He was arrested in North Dakota by the U.S. Marshal Service High Plains Fugitive Task Force and the West Fargo Police Department and was extradited to Minnesota. According to reports, Ethan called Brandon to ask for advice in what to do after he murdered Dystynee. Quote, Herbstoesser admitted that he advised Broad he should report the victim as missing, tell her family she ran away, hide or destroy her property and refrain from any electronic communication regarding the incident. End quote. Brandon actually went to Ethan's apartment to help David and Andrea clean up all of the blood and to do a walkthrough to ensure that none of Dystynee's things were there. He also admitted to trying to throw detectives off of what actually happened. Dystynee's family was shocked. They stated that all of these people were good friends with her and that, along with Ethan, Andrea had been in constant touch with the family during the investigation. Ethan appeared in court on Monday, April 25, 2020, remained in holding with a bond set at $1 million and expected to go back to court on May 14. Doreen said in an interview that Ethan, quote, was a good friend to her, he acted like he actually cared about her. I talked to her every day. I even talked to her the day she went missing. I was never suspicious of him, end quote. On the morning of Friday, January 8, 2021, Ethan pleaded guilty to second-degree intentional murder. In court, he admitted that he stabbed Dystynee in the throat with a knife, hit her over the head with a pipe, and then dragged her body to the garage. Ethan's lawyer claimed that Ethan had mental issues at the time of the murder and those issues made it difficult for him to show emotions, such as remorse. In 2011, court documents were filed in a guardianship case which suggested that Ethan had multiple mental health disorders as well as an IQ of 65. A normal IQ is between 85 and 115, so Ethan's IQ could indicate an intellectual disability. Although his lawyer said that he had difficulty showing emotion, he also stated, in court, that Ethan does have remorse. Ethan cried in court while recounting the murder, and again, while the prosecutors played a video for the court, showing pictures of Dystynee. Other than recounting his actions, Ethan declined to speak more during the hearing. His plea deal was that he would serve 367 months, or around 30 years, in prison and he must also serve 2/3 of his sentence before being eligible for parole. Doreen said that, she was family-oriented, and she was very cheerful, always smiling, brightened up the room. Doreen's boyfriend said, Dystynee was kind-hearted and caring for everyone she met. She would always try her best to keep you happy no matter the situation. She would talk with you and spend time with you during your situation. If you need someone to talk to or needed something, she would do her best to get it. If you needed someone, she would be there in a heartbeat. Just everything she did and said always kept me happy. Doreen said her daughter would always call her and say, Mom, I love you. Now, that's never going to happen again. Can you imagine that? My heart is breaking because I can't imagine this scenario. On February 18, 2021, Ethan was supposed to be at his hearing sentencing, but Ethan decided to take back his guilty plea and instead, take the case to trial. Attorney Pam Foss objected and requested that they proceed with the sentencing. However, Judge Tammy Merkins decided to delay the hearing until late March. The judge also ordered a competency evaluation, which would be the third one, and this one, along with the other two, found him competent to understand his plea agreement. Quote, I'm just ready for it to be done so I can mourn my daughter and try to move on with my life. He's gonna drag it out as far as he possibly can. He's gonna take it until the very end because he does not want to go to prison. End quote. Later, the judge denied Ethan's plea and scheduled the sentencing to May 21, 2021. On May 21, 2021, Ethan was sentenced to 30.5 years in prison with a credit of 400 days that he already served in jail. This is the maximum prison time allowed by the state of Minnesota. Andrea and David were sentenced to time served in probation for their role in the murder. Brandon entered an Alford plea. He was given a stayed sentence for 5 years if he stayed out of trouble as well as a credit for serving a year in jail. So basically, they helped him cover up a murder and got a stern talking to. And that is the unfortunate case of Dystynee Avery. What do you think of the ending of this case? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and you have 3 ways of sharing them with me. 1. You can tell me in the comments below. 2. You can join the Lamb Facebook group. It's a free and welcoming group where you can discuss the cases with the rest of the lambs. 3. You can join the exclusive lamb community here at www.patreon.com/loveandmurder. Right now, we have options starting at only $3 per month. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and seeing you again for next week's Midweek Mini.